We've got some breaking news here on CBS Sports HQ. The Denver Nuggets have announced that star guard Jamal Murray has been diagnosed with a torn ACL on his left knee, and he will be out indefinitely. Happened in last night's game in San Francisco, taking on the Golden State Warriors in a loss with less than 1 minute left to go. Looked like what was a non-contact injury for Murray, with the Nuggets trailing by 7 points with 50.6 seconds left to go in the game. He had just came back from injury to his other knee, and this is a devastating blow to a Nuggets team that right now sits fourth in the West, was a playoff team and a contender a season ago in the bubble, and that's where Jamal Murray really shined. So as we take a look at the impact with him being out, potentially for the end of the season, of course, with knee injuries, that's the anticipation the rest of the way. But with him and then without him, the numbers here from our Stephen O, Sportsline data expert, their percent to win the West drops nearly 6%, and to win the title drops in about half to 2.7% without him. All right, let's bring in world champion and NBA analyst Avery Johnson here with the breaking news. And Avery, first off, your thoughts on Jamal Murray after seeing what happened last night and hearing the news today.
Tommy, this is just devastating news, not only for Jamal Murray, but for the Denver Nuggets and their entire fan base. You're talking about the second leading scorer on their team, averaging 21 points a game, shooting 40% from three. He had an outstanding playoff run in the bubble last year. So you would think, independent of maybe his regular season numbers are down a little bit compared to what he did in the bubble last year, that he was going to be up for the challenge come playoff time. Their team sits fourth currently in the West, a couple of games ahead of the Lakers in Portland. But this is just an unbelievable, disappointing situation for the Denver Nuggets. Love the way Jamal plays the game. I had a chance to coach against him when he was playing for Kentucky, and I was coaching at Alabama. Fiery competitor, can really fill it up. But this is just a tough situation for their entire team. And also, Tommy, let me remind everybody, this is basically a year recovery type of an injury. So this rehab could obviously lead into next season. So it's not just about this year, but next year in terms of how long this rehab takes.
And you mentioned the numbers. We're showing them right now. Again, everything statistically was set to be a career high for Jamal Murray to build on what he did in the bubble. As we take a look at this team, you mentioned where they are right now, fourth in the standings. How big of a blow? This is obviously a big blow, but what does this do to Denver's prospects, do you think, here, finishing out the regular season and heading into the postseason?
Well, I think they'll probably slide back a little bit here, even with the Lakers injuries. If the Mavericks could really play a little bit more consistent basketball, they'll beat Milwaukee, and then they'll, lose, a game here and there. And if they can get Porzingis healthy, they could potentially make a move. Watch out for the Portland Trail Blazers. So again, Denver's probably will slide out of the home court advantage in terms of finishing in the top four. But again, you need guard play. We saw it in the NCAA tournament. I had a couple of games in the NCAA tournament. So you need guard play. And when you don't have a guy like Jamal Murray, and sure, Jokic is an outstanding player. He's capable of triple doubles. But that 1-2 combination between Jokic and Murray, we've seen it on display. They can get hot at the right time. It uplifts the rest of the team. But when you lose this type of player out of your lineup, this potentially spells a first-round knockout in the first round of the playoffs.
And lastly, Avery, from a coaching perspective from Mike Malone, obviously they've got some depth on the wings. They don't have any depth at guard, especially a playmaker like Jamal Murray. There's Monty Morris obviously there. How do you approach that as a head coach? What can you do, obviously short-term-ish, looking forward with this team playing their games moving forward?
Well, you mentioned Morris. He's going to have to step up, but you got to do it by committee. There's not one guy on their team that can replace the type of production that Jamal Murray has night in and night out. So you got to do it by committee. You may have to tweak your offense a little bit because you had certain plays that were a little pet plays for Jamal Murray to run, for him to get to his strong hand on a certain side of the floor. But now you have to do it by committee. You know, you'll count on 3 or 4 other guys to try to make up for that production. But at the end of the day, this is all falls on Jokic's shoulders. He's going to have to be even more efficient in terms of his point per minute production. And a lot's going to fall on his shoulders, especially come playoff time.
All right. Avery Johnson's there with the breaking news, and Jamal Murray and that torn ACL in his left knee. Coach, certainly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Athletes across the association reacting to the news for Jamal Murray. C.J. McCollum, prayers up with the emoji there for his fellow guard. You got Zach Levine said, damn, man. More prayer emoji. Stay strong to add be more 27 for Jamal Murray. And Donovan Mitchell, prayers for his fellow star there. That is a common theme for all the players and what they saw, what they've heard, and how they were reacting on social media.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.